Hey everybody, and welcome to the Everything Voiceover Podcast. My name is Justin D. Torres. The Everything Voiceover Podcast is brought to you by The Voice Realm, where only professional voice actors are listed. Okay, so it's been a while since we did the podcast. I've been actually putting up a lot of videos on everythingvoiceover.com, so if you go ahead and head to our YouTube page, I've got a bunch of videos about how to work with Reaper and new ways to speed up your workflow. I'm using a Logitech G13 peripheral to help me out there. Also, a couple of different reviews for a bunch of different websites and that stuff too. So it's good to be back on the podcast and helping you guys out. And I wanted to start this podcast with something really specific that'll help everyone out. Now, this is going to be for Voices.com, which is a pay-to-play site. But I want to give you 8 ways to get the edge on Voices.com. Now, for those of you who don't have Voices.com, if you've been listening to my website, I recommend it as the number one voiceover pay-to-play site that you should be a part of if you are getting into a home studio and you want to make money from home. Recently, I did a review on The Voice Realm, which is also a sponsor to this podcast, which is awesome, and they're actually really good too. And I would say that would be a great supplemental site to be a part of if you really want to try and start making money from home and doing the editing and doing the recording and doing all that good stuff. But if you're trying to get an agent and you're a union, then there's no reason for you to get onto Voices.com unless you want to make extra money. And I don't believe there's that many union jobs available on Voices.com or Voice123 or the Voice Realm. At least not that I've seen, because I'm not union. I'm a non-union actor. I've been that way for a while. So, without further ado, here is the 8 ways to get the edge on Voices.com. Now, the number one thing you can do to get at least seen as quickly as possible, because that's the big goal here, is you want to get seen by the client and you want them to listen to your demo. The number one thing you can do is speed. You got to get on those jobs fast. If you're in the top 20, you're more than likely to be heard by the client. And the way you get on that is I'd recommend, if you're at your computer a lot, or when you are at your computer, I'd recommend if you've got like a iPad or an iPhone and has the ability to make a noise every time you get an email, I would suggest that every time you see something that pops up from Voices.com, you go straight into the recording studio and record it to make sure that you're on the top edge of the top 20, which means you will be listened to. And that's unfortunately that's the way most people get the edge. If you're in the top 20 for all your stuff, you're at least getting listened to. And if you have a quality performance, a quality demo, a quality recording studio, then people are more likely to see something in the top. Clients are more likely to see something in the top 20, and they're like, I don't want to listen to 80 more auditions. I'll take that guy. And if you think about it, these are smaller priced jobs, so they have the ability to go through like 80 auditions, but how much time do they have? They're getting paid by the hour too. If they can efficiently get something done quickly, that's the way they're gonna hire you. So that's the first one, speed. The second one is voice match. If you notice on the auditions, they have a column that says voice match, and usually you get 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%. If it's over 90%, do them ASAP. If you can do them if you're the quickest one on the 90%, then amazing. But even if you're like a couple of 40 or more down, get those 90% done. Because I found out while going to the Voices.com conference and teaching there that if you are over 90%, you're actually there's like a system thing where your audition actually gets pushed above those who are less of a voice match. Like if you were like 40 and they were like number 20 in the list, and they were like a 50% voice match and you were a 90% voice match, I think there's a good possibility you'll be heard first. I'm not 100% sure, but people came out of that class, because I was teaching on the other side, but people came out of that class being like, I did not know that voice match was that important. So take a look at those. So hit priority on the 90% or more as soon as possible. The next one is the lightning jobs. If you have a little lightning bolt on the side of your auditions, that means that these are guys who want to get the job done ASAP. And if you have the ability to record ASAP and you're at home and you want to get the job, their lightning jobs are more than likely going to be the clients that want to get stuff done now. And those are the ones you should have priority for. You want to be the top 10 on that one, absolutely, so that they can hire you right away, get the job done right away, and there's a priority there. So they already realize that we want to get this job done right away, and you want to be able to do that for them. So lightning jobs are definitely a priority. The next one, so the first three were speed, voice match, and lightning jobs. Now we're going to hit the second half of this, starting with number 4, and that's bidding. Now, for the most part of my voiceover career, I've been at the lower end of the bidding spectrum, just because I was starting out, and that was up until like last year when I upgraded all my stuff, and you know, I was getting consistent work then with all the low end bidding, and if you're bidding low, especially if it's a $100 to $250 job. You know, I mean, you don't know what the budget is for the client, and $100 saving $100 to $150 is a good thing. So it does improve your chances. Whether it's a good or bad thing, I don't know, because recently Voices.com switched it so that you can only put how much you're going to be paid. So if you bid $100, the portion of the payment that's going to Voices may put on an extra $20. So what I found out recently was that if I bid at the highest portion of the job, like if it's a $250 job and I'm like $250, the client is actually going to pay about $300 because the $250 is what I'm going to get, and the $40 or so is going to go to Voices.com. So a person, if a client doesn't know that and they're actually putting down their whole budget for this job and it's only $250, I'm going to get cut out of that because they didn't know any better. They're going to say, oh, it's a $290? I don't have that in the budget. Now, admittedly, we're all just, unfortunately, with these lower-end jobs, it's kind of like you're fighting for scraps at the door, and we all know we're worth a lot more than that, and we all know that there are bigger jobs out there, and but unfortunately, you gotta. It is a proving ground, and it's great practice, and we're all journeymen of some sort, and we all want to make money. We all want to feed ourselves. So, recently I've been doing at the higher end of the bidding, but I haven't done at the top because I want to really make sure that the client knows that I'm actually going within their budget. So another way to strategize that is bidding the lowest. Is a strategy, unfortunately. And there's something about that. Something about being able to know that you're gonna be willing to do it for less, and there's respect there. Great. I think if you are a new person, I think you should bid at the lower end. If they see that you have 0 reviews, and you could have done a million different things with agencies everywhere, and your demo might be spectacular, but the fact is you haven't done actual jobs on Voices.com, so people don't know what your studio sounds like or how you edit, then I'd say bid at the lower end. Okay? So now I'd like to take the opportunity to say that the Everything Voiceover podcast is brought to you by the Voice Realm, where only professional voice actors are listed. Alright, so that was number 4. Now we're off to number 5. The next one is the quality of the custom demo you make. Now this is obvious. If you do a bad custom demo, it doesn't matter how fast you are, or how the voice match is, if it's a lightning, or how you bid it, it's going to be bad. So make sure that your studio's silent for the most part. Try and do your best. Put as much blankets on the sides of your walls as you can. Make sure that your microphone is of decent quality. It's not your iPhone microphone. These are all just, you have to invest a little bit into your studio at the very least, and put some time into it to make sure that you're not hearing, trucks like I'm hearing right now. Like I said, I'm not in my studio right now. I'm out next to my computer, so this sounds a little bit weird, but I would never ever do this for a custom demo. That's really going out there. Anyway, so that's quality of demo. Number 6 is the performance. Well, this is going to be the performance. Like if we're talking about voices.com, performance is top notch. You have to have the better performance. If you're an actor, if you know how to act the thing, if you've studied voiceover classes, if you've trained with these people and you really do feel like you're conversational, or if you feel like you sound like an announcer and you read it, you do the quality of your performance is based on you've read the script, you've seen what they want, you've looked at the videos that they put up, and you're performing based on that. That's amazing. And the cool thing about if we go outside of voices.com and you're working with an agent and they're basically telling you, send us a demo for this, send us a custom demo for that, and you send it to them, they're going to be only looking at the performance. They're not going to be looking at the quality because they're going to send you into a studio to record it. So if you want to be at the higher end of all these bigger jobs, then you're going to have to train a little bit, and that means going to classes, taking workshops, doing online Skype coaching, whatever you can do to become a better voice actor. And people may disagree with me, but actually auditioning is a practice. You can't rely on your agent to give you 30 auditions a week. There are some guys who are amazing out there in New York, and they're going to be doing like 3-4 auditions a day because they have to ride from studio to studio, and that's great. But hey, not all of us are that good that they can be able to do all that stuff. I have to get my practice in somehow, and that's going to be through voices.com, the voice realm, voice 123. So that's how I get my practice in. The next one is the professional template. Now, make sure that you have a good template up, and if you go to everythingvoiceover.com and look around at one of our how-tos, I have a how to create a professional template. You need to make sure it's not like, hey buddy, or hello. It has to be very professional, and then tell them all the things that you need them to know, that they get how many rounds of pickups, and that you're excited, and that you've done a couple of these things, and that you've worked with certain agencies. Just a really cool professional template. Similar, you want to sell yourself, you want to be happy to meet that person, and you want to work with them, you want to look forward to working with them. So a professional template goes a long way. And also, what you should definitely do in that template is address some of the needs that the client has. If they want it to get done by Monday, make sure you say it in the template. I'm more than willing to get it done by Monday. If they want to record it in New York City, you tell them, I'll be in New York City. I'll be available during the day, during the Monday through Friday. Or if you're not available in New York City, you can say, hey, I'm in LA. I wanted to go out for this. There's a couple of studios here that I'd like to try. If you choose me, I'd be more than willing to use those and do that. Address the things that they need to address. If they're looking for a person who's Spanish and you do your audition and you are Spanish, might as well put it in that top of that profile. Hey, just so you know, I'm actually I'm 100% Spanish. My mom's from Barcelona, and my dad is from down the street in Barcelona. So make sure you put a little extra stuff into those templates. It is a template, but you can always add into it, and feel free to address client needs during those templates. And number 8 is the final one that I think gives you an edge, is testimonials. You have to do jobs. You have to have a bunch of jobs. If you have a higher rating of stars, people are going to see that. In a similar way, when you look at a client and you see that they have never done a job with voices.com, it's something you need to deal with. So make sure that you're working on jobs. When you work on jobs, you're giving them a quality rating, and that you're giving out quality ratings, especially if they deserve it, and if they're good communications, and that you're treating the client well, and that you're being very professional. So you are earning those 4 to 5 stars, and then as you get better and better, you are getting more repeat clients, you're getting more jobs, and then before you know it, you'll have hundreds of 5-star reviews, and then you can just build that out and just use that as a badge of honor to know that you've worked well with lots of people. All right. So that was the 8 ways to get the edge on voices.com. First one is speed. Second one's voice match. Third one is lightning jobs. The fourth one is make sure you bid. probably on the low end, especially if you're new. 5 is the quality of the custom demo that you do, so work on your home studio. 6 is the performance, which usually means that you have to have done some kind of class or coaching or something like that. The 7th one is a professional template where you address the needs that the client has right off the bat, which is great. Number 8 is through testimonials and reviews. If you can work on all those consistently and try and be able to get the edge, check out your answered page and see who's been listening. And if you're getting a lot of thumbs up, look for ways to celebrate the work that you do, and always be upgrading. Always be getting some better gear, and don't be afraid to return it if it doesn't work out and try something else. And it's a growing process. So, all right, that has been the 8 ways to get the edge on voices.com. My name is Justin D. Torres. This has been the Everything Voiceover Podcast. The Everything Voiceover Podcast is brought to you by The Voice Realm, where only professional voice actors are listed. So make sure to check us out on YouTube. We've got a couple of great new videos up, or head on over to everythingvoiceover.com and check out the articles there. We're going to be putting some great articles in on a bunch of reviews and cool little aspects of pay-to-play sites. And feel free to like us on Facebook or head to Twitter and follow us on Everything V. Check us out on iTunes, subscribe there. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.